The House of Eternal Shadows. I had always been drawn to the macabre, so when I heard rumors of a haunted house nestled at the edge of town, I couldn't resist the temptation to investigate. It was said that no one had lived there for decades, and the mere sight of it sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. One moonless night, I decided to venture into the heart of this enigmatic dwelling. The house stood shrouded in darkness, its time-worn facade peering out from behind twisted, gnarled trees. Its windows were like vacant eyes staring into the void. As I stepped across the threshold, a cold wind brushed against my skin, whispering secrets of the house's grim history. My footsteps echoed ominously in the empty hallway as I moved deeper into the darkness. The air grew heavy with the scent of decay and ancient wood. Cobwebs clung to every corner, and the walls seemed to close in around me, as though the very house itself were alive and breathing. But it was what lay within its shadows that filled me with a nameless dread. In a long-forgotten room, I stumbled upon a dusty old photograph. It depicted a family, their faces contorted in anguish. There was something unsettling about their eyes, as if they held a terrible secret. A chill ran down my spine, and I couldn't tear my gaze away. As I continued my exploration, I heard faint whispers emanating from the walls, as if the house itself were trying to communicate. I followed the voices to a hidden chamber, a place where an unspeakable tragedy had unfolded. In the flickering candlelight, I saw the apparitions of the tormented family, their spectral forms replaying the events of that fateful night. The whispers grew louder, and I could hear their desperate pleas for release from the eternal nightmare that bound them to the house. Overwhelmed by fear and compassion, I decided to help them find peace. I sought the guidance of a local historian who revealed the house's grim history. It had once been the residence of a wealthy family, but tragedy had struck when their youngest daughter, Eleanor, mysteriously disappeared. Rumors spread like wildfire, and the family was ostracized by the townsfolk. In their despair, they turned to dark rituals in a misguided attempt to bring Eleanor back. But the rituals had gone horribly wrong, binding their souls to the house for all eternity. Determined to break the curse, I returned to the haunted house, armed with knowledge and protective charms. The moment I crossed the threshold, the spirits of the family appeared before me, their eyes filled with sorrow and longing. With the historian's guidance, I conducted a ritual meant to sever the family's connection to the house. The room filled with a glowing light, and their spectral forms contorted in agony. The house itself seemed to groan in protest, as if it were fighting to keep its grip on the tormented souls. As the ritual reached its climax, the family's cries grew louder, and the very walls of the house shook. I watched in horror as the spirits were ripped from their eternal prison, their faces contorted in a final anguished scream. With a blinding flash, the curse was broken, and the house fell silent. The apparitions of the family vanished, leaving behind only an empty, lifeless dwelling. I knew that the house would forever bear the scars of its tragic past, but at least the souls of the family could finally rest in peace. As I stepped out into the moonlit night, I couldn't help but wonder if the house itself had been freed from the darkness that had plagued it for so long. The House of Eternal Shadows would always be a place of eerie fascination, but it was a fascination tempered by the knowledge that some mysteries should remain undisturbed, and some horrors were best left to the realm of legend. Please subscribe and hit the like button to support this channel for more scary horror stories, and please leave a comment too.